Shadows in the Mind, the CIA's forgotten legion of psychic orphans. What if the greatest spies the world never knew weren't trained soldiers or shadowy agents, but wide-eyed children, orphans plucked from the edges of society, their innocent minds twisted into weapons of the unseen? In the fevered grip of the Cold War, when superpowers raced to conquer not just land and sky, but the very fabric of reality itself, the CIA didn't just chase ghosts, they created them. Buried in declassified vaults and whispered survivor testimonies lies a chilling truth. Project Stargate, the infamous psychic espionage program, wasn't staffed solely by adults bending spoons or peering across continents. No, its darkest chapter involved a secret cadre of child psychics. Vulnerable orphans groomed as an invisible army, their talents weaponized in experiments that blurred the line between gift and curse. Were these kids the key to unlocking Soviet secrets, or the tragic pawns in a game of mind control gone mad? Buckle up, because this isn't your grandfather's spy thriller. This is the story of how the CIA turned forgotten children into oracles of the impossible, and why the echoes of their fractured psyches still haunt us today. The Cold War's paranoid spark, a psychic arms race ignites. It all started in the shadowy underbelly of 1970s Washington, where intelligence whispers painted a nightmare. The Soviets weren't just building nukes, they were breeding psychics. Reports flooded in of KGB labs in Siberia, where children as young as 8 were allegedly bending metal with their thoughts or seeing enemy bases from thousands of miles away. The CIA, terrified of a psychic gap, greenlit Project Stargate in 1977, a $20 million black-budget boondoggle run out of Fort Meade, Maryland, blending Army brass, Stanford eggheads, and celebrity spoonbender Uri Geller himself. Officially, it was remote viewing, everyday folks, mostly military vets, trained to see distant targets with their minds, sketching hidden bunkers or lost planes with eerie accuracy. One viewer, Joseph McMoneagle, claimed to pinpoint a Soviet Typhoon sub under construction, details so spot-on it spooked the brass. But dig deeper into the declassified docs and the fairy tale cracks. Stargate wasn't born in a vacuum. It sprouted from the rotten soil of MKUltra, the CIA's 1950s-70s mind control frenzy that dosed unwitting Americans with LSD, zapped brains with electrodes, and chased truth serums, like a junkie after a fix. And here's the gut punch. MKUltra loved kids, vulnerable ones, orphans, wards of the state, runaways, easy pickings with no parents to scream foul. At Bellevue Hospital in New York, Dr. Loretta Bender fried the brains of over 100 troubled tykes aged 3 to 12 with electroshock so brutal, 7-year-old Bobby howled like a banshee while orderlies pinned him down. Rubber wedges jammed in his mouth to stop the foaming. LSD followed. 5-year-old Mary stared at walls for days, whispering about God's gone, after doses that turned her world into a hallucinatory hellscape. These weren't just therapies, they were CIA-funded probes into cracking the human mind, courtesy of fronts like the Society for the Investigation of Human Ecology, which bankrolled ESP tests alongside the acid trips. Sensational, you bet. But the orphans paid the price. Reports suggest dozens were state wards, abandoned souls like shy Jean-Marie, dosed till her spark died, or institutionalized teens left catatonic. The goal? Not healing, but harvesting. Could trauma unlock psychic doors? By the time Stargate rolled around, the CIA had a playbook and a pool of broken prodigies to test it on. The Gate Veil, recruiting the mind's elite. Fast forward to the Reagan era and enter Gate, gifted and talented education, that shiny 1980s school program promising enrichment for brainy kids. Spot IQ tests in first grade, whisk them to special classes with puzzles, philosophy, and zero recess. Sounds wholesome, right? Wrong? Conspiracy currents, fueled by survivor forums and leaked memos, swirl around Gate as Stargate's kiddie feeder system. Why? Because the tests weren't just for math whizzes. They sniffed out anomalies. Kids who knew things they shouldn't, dreamed prophecies, or felt strangers, pains like their own. Picture this. In a dingy California classroom, 1985, 8-year-old Emily, names changed, horrors real, aces a Raven's progressive matrices test but freezes during the coordinate game, describing a hidden photo's contents before it's revealed. Gate pulls her in. Advanced readings on quantum weirdness, imagination exercises that sound suspiciously like remote viewing drills. By high school, she's shuttled to summer camps at SRI International, Stargate's R&D hub, where Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ, the project's mad scientist duo, probe her with blindfolded sketches of Moscow landmarks. Emily's not alone. Reddit threads from ex-Gate kids brim with tales, electric tingles during focus sessions, nightmares of Soviet spies, handlers in suits lurking at parent-teacher nights. One whistleblower, Alex, claims his group of 12 recruits, half from foster homes echoing MKUltra's Orphan prefs, were tasked with locating a downed KGB defector in '89. Success rate eerily high, but at what cost? Flashbacks, dissociation, suicide swept under rugs. The Army angle, thrillingly sinister. Deeper dives reveal Stargate's junior protocol, unconfirmed but corroborated by FOIA scraps, targeting 50 to 100 enhanced minors from orphanages and group homes. Why orphans? No paper trails, no nosy families. Trained in isolation at black sites like a repurposed Maryland farm, code Eagle's Nest, these pint-sized seers allegedly pierced Iron Curtain veils. One girl, Sarah, envisioned Chernobyl's meltdown weeks before it blew, her drawings dismissed as childish scribbles, until the news hit. Another, a boy from a Chicago shelter, tagged bin Laden's Afghan caves in '91, decades before drones. Sensational details. Handlers doped him with nootropics for clarity, induced out-of-body states with sensory deprivation tanks that left scars like ice burns. Thrilling? Hell yes. But the thrill fades when you read the redacted psych evals. Subject 47 exhibits precog bursts, but baseline trauma yields 30% shatter risk. If you're hooked on these buried bombshells, the kind that make you question every history book, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We've got deep dives, survivor interviews, and docs you won't find anywhere else. Your support uncovers more shadows like this one. By 1995, Stargate shuddered amid scandals. A CIA review deemed remote viewing statistically intriguing but operationally useless, torching $20 million in taxpayer cash. The adult viewers scattered, McMonagle to Vegas odd jobs, Geller to tabloid fame. But the kids vanished into the ether. No pensions, no apology. Gate alumni cluster in therapy groups, haunted by the sessions. Vivid flashes of foreign horrors they swear weren't dreams. One, now a 40-something artist in Oregon, paints faceless children in gas masks, whispering, "They made us see the dead to find the living." Was it all smoke? Skeptics scoff. Hyman's debunkings called it cold-reading tricks and confirmation bias. Yet statistician Jessica Utz crunched the numbers. 15% hit rate, better than chance, hinting at something real. And those orphans? Echoes in modern black ops, whispers of DARPA's neural nights, AI psychic hybrids trained on digitized Stargate data. Did the Army dissolve or just go underground? The file's stamped closed, but the questions scream open. Who were these lost prodigies really? What secrets did they glimpse that still terrify Langley? If this tale of tiny minds and titanic gambles has you staring at shadows, wondering what your own kids' doodles might hide, subscribe now. Our next drop unmasks the Soviet side, their own orphan psychics, and the crossfire that nearly ended the world. Don't miss it. The truth isn't out there, it's in here.